All right, welcome to, I think, what is another bench talk, even though I'm not on a bench. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I figure the sub count has gone up, channel has changed a bit. I've done a few more pieces of content that have been quite different than the others. So why don't we talk about it? Oh, there's the regional. Or, wait, what? That's a keystone, that's weird. Yeah, so the last few videos haven't been too normal compared to my other past ones. We had one on the Appalachian Trail. We had one that worked with not just bikes. Thanks again, Jason. And we had one that was, I guess, not too normal. Other than that, I have some more videos coming soon that are more normal along the ones I've done in the past. We'll have one on high-speed rail, we'll have one on small electric vehicles, and we'll have one on a train line here in New Jersey. I don't want to spoil it, but you guys, if you've heard me talk, you probably know what it is. I always look forward to working with other creators. One of the videos coming up is slightly working with some creators, so you'll see that. I have a few more things planned, but my summer is very chaotic at the moment. Oh, there goes Amtrak. Come on. It's screeching. Oh, there is. So what was the 10K sub special is going to be the 20K sub special because my subs went up a little bit faster than I would expected. So you guys will get that. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one for me too. Other things, there will be a channel meetup eventually, actually two of them. I'll be dropping the news for that in my Discord. But there will be one in New Jersey and one in Chicago because I will be getting out there soon. Speaking of Chicago, of course, there will be a video or two on that or the area eventually when I get out there. Other than that, I have a bunch of stuff planned. I have a bunch of ideas, so many ideas, so many things I want to do, but I never know when I can do them and when I have the time to manifest them and how much effort I want to put into them because, like, I would love to make train. All right, there goes NJ Transit. I would love to make every video have the same amount of effort as my nationalization video, but I physically, personally could not do that unless I'm doing this full-time and getting paid full-time, which currently I'm not. I wish, but I'm not. The nationalization video was probably the last one that I did that was a really big project. The Pete Buttigieg one, it's long, but that one was more of a free-form thing. Sort of like what I'm doing now, but just cut into an actual video. And the last three videos have been non-train things, so train videos do. Also, I've been promising a podcast for a while. The podcast has been worked on in the background, but the first episode wasn't up to what I think would be good. I probably will release the first proto episode eventually, but in my opinion, it has some errors. Well, not errors, just like it's not up to what I would want it to be. But we are working on one. Thank you for all the new subs. Thank you for all the new Twitter followers. Thank you for anyone that's joined the Discord and joined our crazy, stupid group. Had a bunch of fun on that, and I've met a bunch of people that I would have never expected to meet otherwise. And I've made a good amount of friends that I don't think I would have made otherwise. Like, the channel takes a lot of effort out of me, and I'm starting to see some of the manifestation of my work come back to me, and that's nice. But honestly, one of my favorite things about doing this is that I get to meet new people and I get to meet new friends, which I otherwise wouldn't have. There's a lot of people all around the world that I'm meeting, not just here in New Jersey or in my small city of New Brunswick, New Jersey. And I get a bunch of new video ideas because of people around the world, which is nice. In the fall, I do have classes again, so I'm going to hope to try to keep up the schedule, which I have been with videos, which has been like roughly, I don't know, a video every week and a half to 2.5 weeks, depending on how much work and how much stuff is in between. Honestly, my biggest problem is I suck at script writing. Not suck, but I just like haven't, my brain is very ADD sometimes, and sitting down and writing a script is very hard for me. I really like filming stuff and I really like editing stuff, but I hate like script writing, and that's my biggest flaw, honestly. If I ever went full time, I would definitely get like my own office away from my room, because I feel like a change in office and where you sleep and stay helps a lot. And I still believe, there's NJ Transit. The sound of my people. I feel like the commute, people underestimate the commute. I think that even if it's a short commute, like 5 minutes, I think the physical change in location and in mindset because of that change in location helps a lot of people, and they don't think about it. I know personally I get stuck in loops and circles and everything if I stay at home and I continue just moping around doing work at home. And that's honestly part of the reason I hated online classes so much. I dropped 1 or 2 classes just because I hated online class. I need to yell at someone. I need to be able to physically yell at someone. I'm happy that COVID is kind of over-ish now. Everything's starting to open back up. Everything's available and to go to everything again. And that's why like I am saying that we will have 2 US meetups soon, probably in August, mid to late August. I'm always open to video ideas. 1 or 2 of the videos that I have done in the past were kind of from video ideas of people. I mean, the last video you saw was the Bordentown video. That was because of not just Spike's mentioning to me that like he would be happy if I also joined in on that that series of suburbs that don't suck. Speaking of that, I have like a list of like suburbs in New Jersey that I can easily get to that don't suck, and I will continue that series. I think a lot of people, you have to realize I'm not warping what I do or the way I do things to make it seem like someone else or to make it fit like a YouTube norm. So many people take out their opinions and they take out their I guess what they believe to just appeal to a wider audience, and I just feel like that's impersonal, and I feel like it creates worse content. And yeah, the algorithm might prefer you more because of that, but I don't like that. I don't like doing that. So to address the Bordentown video, I feel like a lot of people are expecting content similar to Not Just Bikes. And I do have longer form content, but I feel like there are a good amount of people that don't like long form content and that like the more chaotic videos like mine, I should say. At least my brain does. My brain, long form content I feel like drags on in a lot of ways, even if it's really good. Like my other friends, like Echo Gecko, he has a great channel, and his content is really awesome, but it is something that I definitely could not do. Because my stuff is very quick, snappy, all about the edits, all about locations and stuff, and not as much about the statistics, which his videos are all about, which I incredibly appreciate, and you should definitely go check him out. But yeah, people come to my channel and they don't expect the brashness, I guess, of my personality to interrupt their videos or about whatever content I'm talking about. But that's what you gotta expect here, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever you enjoy. There will be more stuff coming on Amtrak. I hope in, bugs, allergies. In the future, I do hope to get internationally to other countries. Me and my sister want to get to Germany, or she wants to get back to Germany. And I definitely want to get to the UK, Norway, a few European countries. So I will see you guys over there. I would love to go to Southeast Asia or a few places in Asia. I need to visit, obviously, Toronto eventually to bug someone up there or a few people up there. Hopefully class is going back to normal in the fall. I'm actually in a spot in life where I'm decently happy. I'm decently happy with what I'm doing and how I feel. And I can't say I've been that way for a long time. The channel has made me cautiously optimistic about what's going to happen in the near future, because maybe it's a job, maybe it's not. I have no idea, but it's a fun option to explore in life, and I'm very grateful to be in the position to be able to do that. And I'm happy that a lot of you are along for the ride. I know that a lot of you have probably clicked off the video at this point, but honestly, it's a nice day out here. I manifested another train. I'm currently sitting across the street from the New Brunswick train station, so that's what you're getting to experience right now in the background. What's that? It's multi-levels. Speaking of NJ Transit, I have a NJ Transit video coming out probably this summer. I'll be doing it similar to SEPTA, how I cover the entire system. Speaking of SEPTA, I will finally have the other SEPTA videos coming. Specifically the metro and elevated subways, whatever you want to call them, is coming out next. I have a friend that's helping with that. He's one of my friends from high school, and he went to school for music, and he's helping me with one of the intros. If you're watching, Kevin, hey, hope you're doing all right. I know that you just proposed, and I know that went well. Congrats. It's always nice to run into stuff that I have created or manifested online, and to have, it's even funny to run into people that are like talking about me or ideas that I've spread, and sort of even in an insulting manner. I find it hilarious. It's really funny to go on like a forum and see people complaining about like, oh, nationalized electric trains, and then see one of my videos posted and someone's like, oh, I hate that Alan guy or something. And I'm just like, oh, that's so good. That means it's working. That means even if you get some haters out there, that means your ideas are spreading. Speaking of electrified rail, one of the videos I want to do is going to be about local freight. That one's going to be pretty fun. I'm going to be working with one of the groups that I worked with in the electrification video. I used some paintings at the end of that. And those paintings were from a group called Solutionary Rail. If you haven't, you guys should check them out. They're pretty cool. They have a bunch of slides, paintings and stuff about like a better possible future for rail in the United States. All right, bye-bye NJ Transit. Woo, that wheel slip. I know there's a lot of people that are like doomers out there. I understandably can see your position and why you believe certain things. There are a lot of things that suck out there currently, but I truly do think that we're gonna get through a lot of this. And yeah, things suck here or there, but I think things are gonna start to get a lot better. And I think a lot of it's gonna come down to people like you and I. But that's not a bad thing. That's not a stressful thing. That's a good thing. I feel like urban planning is always just the tip of the iceberg, especially if you wanted to get into like political theory stuff. I feel like it's incredibly important, and I feel like people like Justin Rosniak, if you're watching, I always wanted to say thank you to you, because you've done an incredible amount of work for people with your Franklin series and just starting a lot of the movement in the general direction of socialism with urban planning. I don't think you realize how much you've done, but I think you've inspired a lot of people. And even if you haven't think you inspired people, you have changed the way Excella. You're seeing currently the mind of someone who has ADHD, but also is a massive foamer. Anyway, Justin, if you're watching, just know that like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I would never ever see much talk online about urban planning and leftism. I would hear leftism stuff, leftists and leftism stuff, but I would never hear people talk much about like urban planning and how important it is in like our society and stuff. Once in a while it would come up, or once in a while it would be mentioned like, oh, look how much people a bus carries versus like cars or something. But you would never like see stuff go further in depth than that. And I think there's a general change in the last 5 years of it. But I truly think that your city skylines stuff is one of the reasons. I really like to question why certain things ended up in a certain way. Like when I was a kid, I was always confused of why Glassboro had a train station, the town I grew up in, but like why did it stop being used? Why don't we have trains anymore? And as a kid, I sort of just, like no one really had an answer for me. And people just said that like, oh, cars were kind of the reason, but I never really like questioned it more until I got older. That was quite the horn. And yeah, no, oh, there goes Conrail. Oh shit. That's actually Conrail. Well, I mean, it's Conrail shared assets, but it's Conrail. Well, that was cool. One of the cars said Farmers Co-op on it. But yeah, no, back to like leftism and urban planning. I think a lot of it is manifesting itself into something that's more important over the last like 5 years. And I truly think like, ooh, we're gonna see some big changes in cities in the next 10 years, whether they like it or not. And I think we're also gonna see, in the 80s and 90s, this didn't happen as much, and in the early 2000s kind of, but like a lot of dumb projects, I don't know, what's like an example of a dumb project from that era? Like any gadget bond, basically, I think you're gonna see called out a lot more than it used to be. And I think a lot more people are understanding how trains and stuff work. But maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking out of my bubble. But I don't know, I think one of the things, even if I look outside of the urban planning community that I've become part of, is a lot of people in the younger generation either don't want to drive or don't have the money to afford to be able to drive like anywhere. And I think even if this like whole urban planning stuff that's manifested in the last like 5 years isn't as big as I think it is, I think that's going to drive a lot of it. Even if we are stuck in a bubble, I think that outside of our bubble, I think what's really changing is a lot of the younger generation just they don't want to drive, they don't want to drive. They ask themselves, why do they need to drive everywhere? And then they also like ask, why is like owning a car and doing everything car related so expensive? And when people ask that, they either go in one of two directions. They either go in the direction of like, why do I need a car? Why is my place where I live only car centric? And then the other opposite way is just like, well, why are cars taxed so much, etc. And that's I get it. I totally get it why a lot of you get super tired about fighting this shit. I get it. I don't know how to end this video. I just sort of was talking. Oh, here comes something. It's a nice NJ Transit Super Express or an equipment move or something. I don't know. I'm incredibly happy with what's happened in the last 6 months between COVID ending and the channel doing as well as it's doing. And I always want to thank you guys for that. And yeah, I just want to tell you, I hope you stick around. It's gonna be a fun ride. I have some fun stuff coming. And I always just like to enjoy being where I am and enjoying the people that I'm meeting. So I've met a lot of cool people. But I'll see you for now. Let's go for a walk or something. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, you'll notice two things. One, I got a new mic. Also, this is Mine Street in New Brunswick, and I have a question. If you know who to contact for this, there was actually a mine in the 1700s under this street, and apparently it's still there. If you know who I should contact to get to know, like, if that's still a thing, let me know. I would love to know. Thanks for watching. See you guys.